Hi, Awakened One. This is Rainy Maida Chang, spiritual teacher, ascension guide, Akashic Record consultant, and energy healer. I've been having a lot of conversations with clients lately about being really hard on themselves. I really think it's important for us to really get to the root and address this so we can slowly dissolve this practice that we have been trained to do ever since our childhood. Many adults are really hard on themselves. And they are quick to take up the beat up stick and start like banging on themselves when they don't do something right, when they make a mistake, or if something doesn't go the way that they expected. And that is from your childhood where perhaps you weren't allowed the opportunity to make those mistakes or express yourself so freely. And then what ends up happening is you fast forward when you're older and you're the first person to berate yourself when you make a mistake and to get angry at yourself for not doing the right thing or whatever the situation is. Generations way past were brought up with different types of discipline. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, it's just different. But those generations had so many other things to contend with. So here's a perfect example. Many, many years ago, one of the ways to discipline a child was to use your hands to let them know that the parent was in charge. Or many years ago, kids were told to not cry, to not show their emotions, to suck it up, to be okay. You're okay. It wasn't really allowed. Children were told to be seen, but to be not heard, right? So they were kind of there. They were, I don't want to say the word invisible, but they weren't really able to express themselves easily and freely. Parents had many, many kids. There wasn't a lot of luxury for many people. So lifestyles were very different. And parents had a lot to contend with. And that's no one's fault because that really is based upon what their parents did to them. And generation after generation after generation, how parenting has changed over the years and has morphed has brought us to this moment. So what a parent could tolerate back then may have been that they were told that they couldn't make sounds and they couldn't show their emotions. So that was because the parents couldn't handle that because they had so many other things going on. And their parents perhaps did not allow their children to do that and the generation before that. So there's this snowball effect that's been happening. It's not productive to have that child or that soul really go in and say, gosh, what did I do wrong? I'm so bad. I'm so this, I'm so that. That affects the foundation of who they are. And when they're older, that stays with them. So when they are an adult, making decisions, making choices, trusting in their own opinions and their own gut and their own intuition is hard and it manifests in different ways. So one of those ways is that beat up stick where the minute something doesn't go right, we're like, I'm ready to go. I'm going to beat myself up. Nothing is perfect. And mistakes are part of growth. That's how we learn. That's how we shift and change. And that is such a beautiful thing. Now, even a big, massive mistake for someone might lead to a totally different experience and a different life because of that one mistake. So it's all about allowing ourselves to make mistakes, but also then honoring the fact that we're still good people. It doesn't affect the depths of who we are. We're still lovable. We're still good souls, and we just move on. In truth, we all forget that, right? But the person who made the mistake is the one that's sitting there ruminating about it like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this. I'm so bad. I'm so this, I'm so that, etc. This whole concept piggybacks on the video I made last week about honoring your feelings and embracing what you feel. So if you want to check that out, there it is. But it's about allowing yourself to acknowledge what is happening inside you and then to move on, move forward from it and not hold it in our bodies. We have these energetic centers in our bodies, our chakras, and all the emotions and feelings and situations and memories are stored in that, along with our life force, the energy that should flow freely in our bodies. And when we don't honor our feelings and we don't allow ourselves to feel and we push it down and we don't want to touch it, right? What ends up happening is everything gets blocked. And then there's this stagnant stuff stuck in your body. But if you allow the feeling to come up and be like, whoa, I can't believe I made this mistake. Oh my gosh, I'm going to honor it. Okay, that's great. All right, I'll do better next time. I know what not to do. Woo! It's like liberating, and you allow it to flow in and out, and then boom, you can move on. Try to take this stick and try to notice when you pull it out and try to place it down and not be the first person to beat yourself up. Because a negative thought, or when you're angry at yourself or you're frustrated, you made a mistake or whatever it is, it's kind of like, ever watch something when you're streaming a show and you watch one and you're like, we're only going to watch one. And then 4 episodes later, you're like, oh my God, we finished the season. What happened? That's the mind. The mind, once you give it one thought, it just goes on and it keeps going on and on and on and on until you stop it. And then before you know it, it's been 3 minutes and you've just been standing there yelling at yourself. And that's not great for your brain and your mind and your heart and your soul. That's not great for you. So you want to be aware of when you make a mistake, the immediate response to say, okay, thank you so much. I'm going to put you down, stick. I don't need you. It's okay. Mistakes are growth, and that's a part of how we shift and change and heal. So, what are some tips you can do? Number 1, you have a situation where you know you've made a mistake. Figure out what the mistake was. See if you can learn how to not do that. And then from there, take that stick and say, thank you for all those times when you protected me, but I don't need you right now. Another thing you can do is journal. Some people like to have paper and pen and write things down. And I think that's a great opportunity. So if you can keep a tiny little spiral notebook in your bag or in your purse or in your back pocket with a tiny little pen and just write down what you just felt, what occurred. Journaling is a wonderful way to open up and really get to the depths of your feelings, because once you allow your pen to start writing, things just come out that you might not have realized. Holy cow, that's what I was holding on to. That's what I was feeling in that moment when I made that mistake. And then you can start to heal and release and clear judgments about yourself, about your performance, about who you are at the depths. You can allow your pen to flow, to get it out of your system. Because if you don't honor those feelings and get it out, then what ends up happening is it gets stuck and stagnant in our bodies. And a third thing you can do, you could take your cell phone and do a voice memo where you can talk it through and say, this is what I was feeling, this is how I was, this is what happened, and this is why I'm so upset. But listen back to it and then make an addendum to it. Say, okay, well, now I understand what was really happening in the depths of me, why that came out the way that it did, and why I was so hard on myself. But let me look at the root of that and let me look and see if I can figure out what that is for and why. It's really important to be kind to ourselves. The world is a very big place, and we're all raising our vibrations to be the best versions of ourselves. And we can't go around being higher vibration people with that stick in our hand, right? We got to gently put it down, wrap it up, and put it away. We don't need it anymore. If you need some tools and techniques for your spiritual awakening path, I have a spiritual awakening kit. I'm putting it in the description box. Check it out to help you fortify and strengthen your own sense of self, your grounding, being here, and really calling in those things that you do want. Because when you clear away some of this stagnant stuff in your body, you'll find energy can flow easily. And then when you make a mistake, you won't be so hard on yourself, because the centers where you are clearing and releasing will be a little bit clearer. So you'll allow the mistake to happen more naturally and easily. I'm always so grateful to have this community of really like-minded souls who are here to help one another and to elevate each other as the Earth's vibration is rising. Like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell, and let me know, what is it that you beat yourself up about? What are you doing to help yourself get out of those habits? And I'm sure what you do could help many other people. So put it in the comments section and let us know. I'm sending you all a lot of love, peace, harmony, and joy, and asking you to put that stick down. Bye for now.